Once upon a time, in the country of Japan, there lived an old man and his old wife. The old man was a woodcutter. They were very sad and lonely because they had no children. One day, the old man went to the mountains to cut wood, and the old woman went to the river to wash some clothes. As the old woman began washing her clothes, she saw a very large peach floating down the river and was amazed. She had never seen such a big peach in her entire life. She took the peach out of the river and decided to take it home to give to the old man for dinner. Later that afternoon, the old man came home, and the old woman said to him, "Look, I found this magnificent peach for your dinner." The old man replied, "It really is a beautiful peach. I'm so hungry that I think we should cut it and eat it right away." The old woman went to the kitchen to fetch a large knife to cut the peach in half. But just as she was about to slice it, a human voice came from inside the peach. "Stop. Don't cut me." Suddenly, the peach split open, and a beautiful baby boy jumped out of it. The old man and woman were stunned. But the baby said, "Don't be afraid. The gods of heaven saw that you were childless and lonely, so they sent me to be your son." The old man and woman were overjoyed and adopted the baby as their own. Since he was born from a peach, they named him MomoTaro, which means peach boy. They loved MomoTaro dearly and raised him to be a kind and good boy. When MomoTaro turned 15, he went to his father and said, "Father, you have always been so kind to me. Now that I'm grown up, I feel it's time for me to do something to help our country. There is an island far across the sea called Ogre Island. Many evil ogres live there, and they often come to our land to kidnap people and steal their belongings. I want to go to Ogre Island, fight them, and bring back the treasure they have stolen. Please allow me to do this." The old man was surprised to hear this, but he was also proud of Momotaro's desire to help others. So he and the old woman helped Momotaro prepare for his journey to Ogre Island. The old man gave him a sword and armor, and the old woman packed him a meal of millet dumplings. Momotaro promised his parents he would return soon and set off on his journey. As Momotaro walked towards the sea, he met a spotted dog. The dog barked at Momotaro and was about to bite him, but Momotaro gave him one of the millet dumplings. He explained to the dog that he was going to Ogre Island to fight the ogres. The dog then offered to join Momotaro and help him. Momotaro and the spotted dog continued their journey until they met a monkey. The dog and the monkey started to quarrel, but Momotaro explained his mission to the monkey. The monkey asked if he could join them, so Momotaro gave him a millet dumpling and agreed. As they continued, they encountered a pheasant. The dog, monkey, and pheasant were about to fight, but when the pheasant heard about Momotaro's plan to fight the ogres, it also asked to join. Momotaro gave the pheasant a millet dumpling and allowed it to come along. With Momotaro as their leader, the spotted dog, monkey, and pheasant, all of whom usually disliked each other, became good friends and followed Momotaro faithfully. After a long journey, they finally reached the sea. Momotaro built a boat, and together they sailed across the sea towards Ogre Island. When they arrived on the island, they saw a strong fortress filled with ogres. Some ogres were red, some were blue, and some were black. The pheasant flew over the fortress walls and began pecking at the ogres' heads. The ogres tried to hit the pheasant with their clubs, but it was too fast and dodged all their attacks. While the ogres were distracted, the monkey sneaked inside and opened the gate. Momotaro and the spotted dog then stormed into the fortress and began fighting the ogres. It was a fierce battle. The pheasant pecked at the ogres' heads and eyes, the monkey scratched them with its claws, the spotted dog bit them, and Momotaro slashed them with his sword. Finally, the ogres were completely defeated. They bowed before Momotaro and promised never to cause trouble again. They then brought out all the treasure they had hidden in the fortress. It was the most amazing treasure anyone could imagine. Gold, silver, precious jewels, a magical coat and hat, a mallet that could turn barren land into gold, and many other incredible items. Momotaro and his companions loaded all the treasure onto their boat and returned to the mainland. Once they reached home, they built a cart, loaded the treasure onto it, and brought it back to Momotaro's house. The old man and woman were overjoyed to see their son return safely from Ogre Island. Now, with all the treasure Momotaro had brought, they became very rich and lived happily ever after.